You know, we had our that question in the first episode of what's the one thing someone could show up to a date wearing?
Yeah.
For you to just get up and leave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I changed my answer.
Yeah.
It's taken me this long to think. Because I said Burberry, like a Burberry
You did.
cap. I don't actually mind Burberry, but like, you know what I mean? They're like
The caps.
the Burberry caps and tracksuit. But I think if someone showed up wearing one of those little like handbag things, that people go, like a little Adidas bag that they wear.
They've got drugs in
As
there.
like a shoulder.
I think
as a
I would
shoulder
just
bag.
stab myself.
I
in
don't
the
mind
eyes.
if they're wearing them as a bum bag, but it's when they're like purposely round the shoulder, across the chest.
And it is across their
I
chest.
just
It's like a
hate them
necklace.
so
Yeah,
much.
it's more like it's like a equivalent of like a war badge. Look at me, I'm a hard man.
I think also as well the whole sandals fashion at the moment, wearing socks with sandals.
Is that a thing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if a guy turned up wearing sandals, I would like socks with
Sandals is pretty tragic, but socks with sandals where they've got like the bit
the fluffy
in
bit.
the toe,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
I would go.
It's
I'd
like
leave.
it's almost like people have turned around and said everything that we hated about fashion we're just going to embrace.
Yeah.
Like flares,
Bucket hats. I hate
Bucket
bucket hats
hats.
so much.
like
Unless
really
they're on a kid.
like really bad trainers that are not fashionable at all.
And speakers so that everyone can hear your
Yeah.
music instead of just you.
Yeah.
I hate that. Why do people do that?
Thing is, I love some fashion coming back, like 80s fashion's coming back,
Yeah.
which I think is brilliant. But then also there's the flip side of
Yeah,
the fashion, which I'm like,
there were bad
why
sides to the
is
80s.
why is this in fashion right
Yeah.
now?
I want to grow this podcast to the point that it's really big so that then I can just purposefully tell
Everyone.
people that dress like this
Yeah.
to stop dressing like this.
And they will.
Yeah.
But it was like the other day went into
And it works.
I went into Primark, and their summer dresses are probably the most hideous dresses I've ever seen in my life. Like, none of the new summer dresses
Just all out there.
are attractive. It just, I just think they're hideous. They look like curtains.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't know. There are some fashion that's nice and cool, even if it is a bit edgy, but then there's some that's just like, you're not wearing that to express yourself. You're wearing that because you want to look like a specific person.
Yeah.
That's where it's gone. It's where like I want to look like fashion is now. I want to be like.
Yeah, I'll dress like a Peaky Blinder because I love Peaky Blinders, you know, and I really appreciate what they do, you know, like punching people and raping women. I love it. That's what I stand
I want
for.
to look hard.
That's why I wear this flat cap and this waistcoat with a little like pocket watch and fucking Thomas Hardy.
So, if you couldn't tell, this week we're talking about YouTube.
What's that guy's name in Peaky Blinders that everyone talks about?
Cillian Murphy?
I think the character he plays.
Oh, Tom something. I don't watch it.
I don't know, Sam Claflin's in it.
Shelby?
Tom Shelby.
Thomas Shelby.
Thomas
Yeah,
Shelby.
it'll be like Thomas Shelby.
The haircut and everything. Like, every single time there is this sort of, especially with haircuts, I find, there's this kind of trend in haircuts from TV and film. There's always been an interview with the actor that has set that trend and been like, that was meant to be a terrible haircut.
Yeah.
Like with Hugh Grant, I remember watching an interview with him, with his haircut in Four Weddings and in Notting Hill.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible. It's that
Yeah.
middle parting 90s sort of, it's in the interview he said it was meant to look shit, like his clothes were meant to be shit, his hair was meant to be shit, but then it just caught on, everyone started wearing those clothes and that hair and everything like that.
Yep.
Mental.
It's mad.
It's crazy what you're influenced by.
Yeah.
It is, whether that's your favourite TV programme, your favourite film, musician, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it is mad that people follow particular styles.
I'm just thinking of that meme of like 4 guys posing in a club with some beers and they're all dressed like in the like Peaky Blinder fashion, and the caption is like it's like, oh, it's a shame about that George Floyd bloke getting shot, but all this Black Lives Matter's a bit much.
Yeah,
Or something like
yeah.
that. It's a really funny caption.
Oh dear.
Just like epitomises them.
Yeah.
But we don't mean to generalise, of course.
No.
But I can't imagine anyone who does that sort of thing listens to this podcast anyway. So
Yeah. such hollow
Yay.
But
personalities.
this week we're talking about YouTube channels.
Yeah!
Why are we talking about YouTube channels?
I don't know. We just are.
Yeah.
Because YouTube is always trending.
It's always a thing.
So-
I mean, they brought out Stadia, which was their gaming thing. You hear about that?
No.
You don't hear about that?
Tell me more. Tell me more. Like,
Well-
did he drive a car?
Brum brum. Here it comes.
Bum,
You ready
bum.
for this information?
His car is brown.
Hit.
yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to run you over with this information.
Wow.
Taking a hit.
At 50 miles per... 50, I can't think of another pun.
Beep, beep.
50 facts per hour. Anyway, Stadia is this gaming platform which is all online and all like it's basically like a streaming service but for gaming. And basically YouTube and Google particularly are trying to take over the gaming market, where you will just, it's basically like the PS5 version where it just streams games but it's all online,
Yeah.
like Netflix but for gaming.
Which, yeah, PlayStation have, and apparently it's terrible.
Yeah, but that's the way gaming is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a thing that they're talking about, and I suppose like YouTube copyrights are always changing. I don't know. We try to make it topical, but YouTube's always topical.
I know. Well, YouTube's, would you say, one of the biggest web platforms?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's
100%.
like the
top 5
Top
the
five.
main
streaming.
streaming
So
service
it's YouTube,
ever.
YouTube and Google are together, aren't
Google,
they?
yeah,
Google own YouTube.
yeah.
Google
So
own YouTube,
Google is
so
the
they're
company.
they're together, and then you've obviously got like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
all together, and then you've got Amazon.
yeah.
I would say
Oh my
those are
God.
like our.
And Jeff Bezos has just become the first man in the world to earn $200 billion. He is the first $200 billion
He needs that much
And if
money.
you don't know who that is, you should.
Jeff Bezos, if you're listening, can you just pay us to do this? That
Just
would be great.
give us
It
a
would
little
be
bit of money.
Literally nothing for you. Not even 1% of your money. I
Our
don't
biggest
think.
Patreon would be nothing to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, head to patreon.com/WITMOT, and is that the right one?
Yeah. Yeah. Give us your money.
So
So yeah, maybe before we start,
Joke.
yeah, go to patreon.com/WITMOT, twitter.com/WITMOT,
Popmot.wit.
follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that sort of stuff, at WITMOT
Facegram.
Podcast,
Instawick.
Podbean, Spotify.
Tumble.
Give us some reviews and some shout-outs and some ideas,
Follow us on Giphy.net.
and on Face Filler,
Sticky Whiffle.
skittlesgiant.com.
Uh,
That's it.
and LinkedIn.
No, we're not on LinkedIn.
Cool. Anyway,
Unless that's what the fans want.
YouTube. YouTube.
If we have a huge LinkedIn fan base, please let us
YouTube.
know and we'll set it up immediately.
YouTube.
Anna's been saying YouTube for literally 10 seconds.
So we'll have to
let's
talk about
let's, Yeah, let's stop.
Why do you like
Let's
YouTube,
stop our
Anna?
joke. Anna.
Well, I was gonna come up with some cool YouTube facts before we go into
Oh
it.
yeah, go on.
Okay,
then.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
It's
can be
time for Anna's Fact Corner. Anna's Fact Corner.
ding, a ding, a ding,
So-
a ding, ding.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could read some facts out. I love YouTube facts now.
Does
With
anyone-
Anna in the corner.
And the whole thing.
anyone tell me when YouTube was founded?
2006 it was launched.
2005.
2004 it was founded.
It was founded in 2005
Oh,
Winner.
fuck, can't believe you've done
on
this.
Valentine's Day.
No way. Is it for so people could set up Valentine's messages to each
Sure.
other?
And it was
I love
originally
YouTube.
funded with the bonuses that the employees received when eBay bought out PayPal.
I'm just going to take off my
Wow.
jacket because I've realised it's
Yeah.
a very loud jacket to wear while we're
is true.
podcasting.
The first ever YouTube video was uploaded on April 23rd, 2005. So it took a while, like a couple of months
Yeah.
before a video was actually uploaded. It
That must have been a really boring website.
a video of its co-founder at the San Diego Zoo. Initially, YouTube was created to be a video dating site called Tune In Hook Up.
Wow.
Only 18 months after
Sounds a
YouTube was
bit
founded, Google bought
dodgy.
it for $1.65 billion in stocks.
Oh my bananas.
There are over 1 billion users on YouTube, which is nearly 1/3 of everyone on the internet. And then YouTube opened a production space in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. It was before there were two of
That
them.
is free to use, and only if you have at least 10,000 subscribers.
Oh my god.
So there's a free space to use in Los Angeles.
If you have 10,000.
Yeah.
It became Dos Angeles when there were two. Can we start a petition to get Los Angeles changed to Dos Angeles?
Dos Angeles.
Or Los Angeles?
Los Angeles.
The oldest cat video on
Buffalo.
YouTube is dated back to 1894, and it features two cats boxing.
Wow, I can't believe people were uploading on YouTube in 1890.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, so sorry.
Final facts!
Every minute, over 100 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube.
Wow.
In 2014, the famous YouTube star Grumpy Cat earned more money than Gwyneth Paltrow.
And now he's dead.
That's insane. That shouldn't be allowed.
Google, of course, is the biggest search engine in the world, but right behind it is YouTube, which is bigger than Bing, Yahoo, and Ask combined.
I thought nothing was bigger than Bing.
I love Bing.
Bing!
Bing, if you want to sponsor us,
Bing.
reach
Then you
out.
can't. Fuck you, loser.
Yeah.
Bing, bing!
You probably couldn't find us on Bing if you typed in WITMOT.
You can't find shit on Bing.
No.
Every April Fool's Day, YouTube plays pranks on millions of users.
Having said that, Bing,
I've never seen a prank on YouTube.
Sponsor us.
Me
I don't
neither.
think-
I've seen like prank videos, which
videos.
are terrible, but
When they played their first prank, they turned the website upside down and rickrolled everyone.
I remember that.
Yeah. Every month, YouTubers watch 6 billion hours of videos per month and 4 billion videos every day. There you go. Aside from the US, the most YouTube views come
this is a
from
very long fact
I was going to say, this better not be a long running
100
segment.
facts! Aside from the US, the most YouTube views come from Saudi Arabia. This is because TV, Facebook, and Twitter are banned in Saudi Arabia.
TV is banned.
But YouTube is unrestricted.
Anyway, that's all we got time for today. Thanks
Sorry,
for joining
Anna.
us.
Bye.
This is the last one. This is the last one.
Subscribe.
This is the last
Visit
one.
us at WITMOT.
This is the last one. It's a good one.
Okay. better.
The most popular tutorial is searched for. Can anyone think of what people might be searching on?
How to get on with podcasts?
Like how to tutorial.
How
So
to...
what if you were thinking of a tutorial on YouTube? What would you
Makeup.
type?
How to...
How to do makeup? That's a good one.
Change a tyre.
How to kiss.
Really?
And then the second most searched
How to kiss.
is how to tie a tie.
Oh, that's fair enough.
There you
How
go.
to kiss.
How to kiss.
Wow.
Top 5 YouTube channels.
Here we go.
Whoop, whoop.
Personally, mine will always be the WITMOT channel.
Yeah.
Channel.
Do we still upload to YouTube?
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
You can listen to all of our episodes apart from episode 10. So,
And that's an exclusive. Only for YouTube.
Why?
because
That's our least favourite episode.
I don't know what episode that was. Podbean started uploading automatically onto YouTube after we didn't set it up, but they just kind of did it after a while. I guess they looked at our RSS feed, and I don't know, maybe it was an update, and then because they started doing that, there was like a changeover in us uploading and them uploading. So episode 10, which is Meet Me in the Whittle,
Oh,
you can't listen to.
you'll have to visit Podbean or Spotify or Anchor or any other podcast listening service.
Let us know though on Instagram, Twitter, or Podbean if you actually watch on YouTube, because I can't
Yeah.
imagine anyone being like I can understand it with people that film their podcasts, which we were originally going to do, but I can't understand people being like, I want to watch a podcast, I want to watch a screen. Anyway, let's talk about our top 5 YouTube channels.
Yes.
Who wants to go first? Anyone?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
You go first, Jake.
Oh.
That was the
Did you write
millionaire
the
music.
Did you write the score? For
And then there's the bit that's like, ba, ba, ba,
What are you on about?
ba. Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah,
I got that bit.
Yeah, and then when he's asking the question, he's like, so, question 1. is it A or B or C or whatever? There's the music in the background that's like. But we don't want to give you that.
Right, okay.
We need to do our top 5 Who Wants to Be a Millionaire moments.
Coffee.
Anyway, okay, yeah, number 5 is probably the OG, or just the biggest YouTuber ever, which is PewDiePie. He is the single most subscribed YouTube person, should I say, as a single entity. He's got about 110 million subscribers
Oh my God.
on YouTube.
He is the second biggest channel.
Yeah,
Stop,
yeah. T-Series overtook him last year, and I think there's another thing that's I can't remember. But they're like a company who have hundreds of millions of Indians to subscribe to them. But yeah, he's the single biggest individual YouTuber on the platform. He's been doing it for like 10 years. I first started watching him in like 2013, so it's been nice to kind of see him go from like a person with 100,000 subscribers to a person with literally 10 times that, or 100 times that, should I say. But yeah, it's just really interesting to see how a YouTuber copes with having that much audience.
Yeah.
And it's so odd to be number 1 for so long and to stay on top for so long. I usually like people with like Smosh or Nigahiga or any of the bigger YouTubers before him who were like number 1 subscribed have always been there for about 6 months to a year and then dropped off and kind of forgotten about. Whereas somehow he's managed to stay on top for literally the last 7 to 8 years. I think it's down to him like changing what he does and like just finding what his audience likes more than anything.
He's completely different now, isn't he?
Yeah, so
to
different.
how he was.
So different.
Okay, so PewDiePie has got 106 million subs,
Yeah.
and T-Series have 151 million.
Jesus. Yeah.
Currently.
And that was the whole thing that went down, which was quite interesting to go into. But yeah, if we had longer, I would want to. I want to go into it. But yeah, I think mainly it's just been really cool to see how he's been on top for so long and how he's coped with that and how he's coped with different like controversies, because he has made big mistakes. Obviously, there's been lots of pressure on him and stuff, but I think he's managed to cope with them really well.
Is
I mean,
he English?
He's Swedish.
Swedish.
Yeah, but he knows English and he speaks in English all the time. And yeah,
He lives in Brighton, I think.
he does. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was going to move to Japan before coronavirus, but yeah,
There you go.
very good, very entertaining.
So was he in Sweden when he started and then moved to Brighton?
No, such a journey. He started in Sweden, in Gothenburg, I think, just outside of Stockholm. Then he met a person called Marzia, then he moved to Italy to live with her and continued to make YouTube videos. And then they both moved to England, don't know where, and then to Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
all over the place. But yeah, it's really cool. Highly suggest. Very funny.
Wow.
And it's really interesting to see he is, because of his numerous controversies, he's detached from lots of big labels. Like he used to have a contract with Disney and with YouTube specifically, but they obviously stepped away ages ago when he went through all like a cancel culture phase. But because he doesn't have those ties, he can speak so freely on his channel, so he can say what he thinks about the platform that he's on. And it's really interesting to hear what such a big YouTuber...
They can't stop him now either.
Exactly.
There's nothing they can do.
Exactly. He is the king.
And if they drop him, he'll just move to Twitch.
Exactly.
And Twitch will get all the money from it.
But that's another really interesting thing that I found about him, especially recently. He started a partnership with YouTube to start streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, you've noticed probably that lots of channels have started streaming live on YouTube in the past, like, year.
Yeah.
Like Sorry, I'm putting my jacket back on. I'm cold.
Your jacket sounds
your
like a
anorak.
beanbag.
Yeah, he's got a partnership with YouTube.
Do you want a blanket?
Where it's kind of like, we've gotten to a point where YouTube, where it's become such a goal to become a famous YouTuber and to earn money that way.
Yeah, have a job in it.
Exactly.
Basically.
But where do you go when so many people have done that? What's the next step for YouTube? And apparently for them, it's like sponsorships and partnerships and memberships, really, with subscribers. So people can pay a certain amount to access live streams, to access mailing lists, etc. It's like a band, really, or a actual celebrity that you go and meet and greet or whatever. But it's a really smart idea.
Yeah.
Very interesting, very cool, and he surprises you as well. Like, he'll do gaming videos and like Reddit videos, but then he'll also like throw in a philosophy video about working out and like why it's really good and why it helped him, and like it's really, really interesting to keep up with what he does.
Always new.
Yeah. I think that's why he's been on top, is because he's always new and listening to his subscribers. That was far too long for a number 5. Move on. Moving on. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
My number 5. I don't subscribe to many YouTube channels. I just kind of watch whatever comes on my channel really.
You still have 5 though.
Yeah. But my number 5 is my yoga videos. So my
I can't believe that's your number 5. That's disgusting.
It's
Unsubscribe.
my yoga channel that I follow is called Yoga with Adrienne, and she's really cool. I find her really easy to watch, and she got me into yoga. And I guess I watch her daily or weekly or whenever I do yoga. She is the woman I watch, and she got me into yoga. I'd never been to a yoga class, and I've literally learned yoga just from her during lockdown and this whole time. Like, I think I mentioned in previous vlogs, podcasts, that yoga was something that I took up during lockdown, and I'm so glad I have. But yeah, she's just amazing. She's just got a really good voice, and her videos are great, and she has a dog, and it's just awesome. She's American, and she's done it for years, but you can tell, like, when you watch her earlier videos, how far she's come. And she travels, and she does yoga literally everywhere. But yeah, she's really cool. Like, you know what you get with those videos. They're really easy to watch, like all different lengths of what you want to do. She's great at like titling her videos so you know what you want to do, and categorizing her videos, like creating playlists for you. So say if you had a bad back, you can follow all her videos that are to do with getting your spine better, or lower back pain or upper back pain. She's just really good. Or if you have a mental health problem, she has playlists for all that as well. Like, she's just really, really good, and I really enjoy her. I
find it's really helpful when starting a yoga video, is that you just really want to know that you're gonna, by the end of it, be like you want to be. Like, you don't want to get into a session and be like, okay, I want to be relaxed by the end of it, and have like really sore muscles because you've accidentally done a workout yoga video. That's the you like. It really depends how you feel on the day as well, of what you want to do. So it's like, oh, how do I want to do a workout today, or do I want to do something mindful, or do I just want something that's going to improve my arms? Like, whatever it is, she's really good at that. And also, for example, if I'm thinking something halfway through a pose, she somehow says it on the screen, like through the video, and it's like, how do you know what I'm thinking right now? So yeah, it's really clever. And yeah,
I wish dogs could talk too.
Is there a reason you went to her and not any other yoga ones?
It was literally, I typed in yoga videos, and she was the first thing that came up. And yeah, I really enjoyed her. I got on with her, and I think if I went to someone else, I mean, I haven't really looked at any other yoga videos, because she just has so many from the years that she's done it. But yeah, I just kind of got on with her, and once you get on with one, it's like, well, I'll stick with them.
Why change?
Yeah. So yeah, it's great, and I think it's amazing that you can just learn. I think this is the nice thing about YouTube, like, learning something at home is amazing. Like, you don't have to go to a yoga class to do it. She was great at just doing what you want on your own. Made me love yoga and enjoy all the aspects of it and what it can do, whether you want to lose weight, or whether you want to get healthy, whether you want to feel better and not have anxiety. Like, it's just, there's so many things to do with yoga, and I love it.
Yeah, I've got Sarah Beth yoga on my honourable mentions. So
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool. My number 5, I really struggled to pick a top 5 because I watch lots of YouTube, probably more than I do TV.
Yeah.
So it's changed a couple of times in the space of like 10 minutes. But my number 5 is a channel that is no longer active. Well, it is active, but not in the format I'm going to talk about it in, which is a real shame. But in light of your guys' ones, mine's not quite as thoughtful. My number 5 is World of the Orange, otherwise known as Woto.
Such a shame.
I just went through and because my top 5 I think originally was things I watch now, and then I was like, well, there's so many that I
That's true.
love. World of the Orange is 2 guys, one of whom now edits for PewDiePie.
Doesn't anymore. Apparently.
Does he not?
Not
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
No, I found this out the other day. Apparently not
Drama.
anymore. But I don't know what he does.
Oh,
It's the same guy.
he's like best friends with PewDiePie. Then.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
The same guy now edits PewDiePie and Mr. Beast videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's
Wow.
got a fucking hell of a job on.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Who?
Who you just mentioned?
A different person.
Oh, okay.
Glad to see Hannah's listening to us. Yeah, World of the Orange is 2 guys. They kind of went their separate ways after Liam decided to pursue his career in like art and illustration. Like they're still friends, but he just went off and did that instead of doing YouTube, because I don't think he had time to commit to both. Having said that, the content that Woto put out does beg the question of like
Did they put any
how
effort
much
into
time did
anything
it
ever?
take? Yeah, so they kind of just did silly games, and I don't know. The thing I liked about it is that it was just 2 friends that had a really funny rapport,
Yeah.
and they were just really funny, and their videos were great, and they knew their videos were shit.
I like to
but
think
they're
it
the
was
best.
this kind of like really smart commentary on what YouTube was at the time. Like they would
Yeah.
do these stupid games that didn't make any sense. That were just like, we're doing this or this,
Plug
like
or plug.
like that. Like other YouTube channels literally did stuff like that, and they were just. Yeah, it was just, but it was just fucking stupid. They were just being stupid because it was so funny.
It is really silly. I recommend going and watching the Jurassic Palm video, or maybe some Cat Sloth videos.
Cat Sloth, classic.
Pug or Plug was funny. There's so many funny videos. It might not be funny anymore, but
remember
it's still funny to us.
remember
watching
they
it.
liked-
You find them funny.
They're
Liked a couple of
hilarious.
My Instagram photos, Brad liked a
Oh.
couple of my Instagram photos of Tom once.
Liam, if you're listening, please just speak to Brad.
Please come back.
It'll take
One
you-
more video.
Brad will edit.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to do anything. You just show up and chat. It will take what, an hour to record, and then they're like 10-minute videos. It would make my day if Woto came
Honestly.
back. Brad still posts solo stuff, and I still watch his stuff, because he's really funny on his own, and I felt a bit sorry for him when he had to go solo, because I think they were just starting to get big, and then he had to sort of think, shit, what do I do with this channel that's different but will still appeal to the subscribers that I've got? And I think he did a really good job with it. Yeah, but Liam, please come back. Brad can still have his channel, just make a separate one. I would love that. That would make my year. That would be the best end to 2020.
Come on, Liam. You can save us all.
You are our only hope.
Your only hope. What's that from?
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're me only hope.
That was having a seizure. It wasn't like...
R.I.P.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
I forgot about World of the Orange.
Thank you.
Woto.
Me too.
Number 4. What can I do as my number 4?
Number 4.
Number 4.
Jake is in the diary room.
I'm not being funny, right? But...
Who is she?
Who is she?
Who does she think she is?
I'm not being funny, right?
She.
Gemma
What shall I
Collins.
pick as my number 4? Do I go 1, 3, 4 or 5?
4.
4. I was going to say 4.
No, 4 is my number 1.
Oh.
3.
1.
Okay. No, I'll go 3.
1.
3, no, 3 is a good one. 3 is a good one. 3 is Funhouse.
Funhouse.
Funhouse. Do, 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 do. It's Funhouse.
That's the little jingle.
I wish it was. I wish-
Do.
I hope it is now. Funhouse, they're a gaming channel of which there are hundreds of thousands and millions of YouTube on YouTube, but they are kind of like a group of adults, maybe like 20-ish to 40-ish, but they all really get on, and you can tell that they're friends first, and then like workmates
Colleagues,
next.
yeah.
But instead of like doing every new game that comes out. They try and make bad games entertaining, which is like a niche that they got into early. It's a classic kind of setup where they film themselves and then capture their video game, but they also do really unique edits in between, and like they go off on funny tangents, and it's more about the conversations they have on screen rather than the video game that they're playing, because like for example, they've been playing GTA 5 online since it came out, every single week since it came out, because it's not about the game that's changed, it's because they're so entertaining while they play it. They're so funny. They don't care. They don't really censor themselves too much. Like, they swear all the time. They're not really worried about advertising and all that, so that doesn't really hold back their humour. I just remember the first time I watched it, they were playing Hitman, and they were just making fun of someone in a wheelchair. It was just really funny.
In the game.
Yeah, and in real life.
It's just outside their studio.
It wouldn't stop them.
Hey!
No, but that's kind of, I was like, oh, okay, these guys aren't afraid to go there. But yeah, they play loads of different games. They got really good rapport, and like about Woto, it's not really the thing that they're doing, which is making them funny. They're just funny, and you just enjoy watching them. And yeah,
one of my honourable mentions is not Funhouse. I do like Funhouse, but is Game Grumps, and I was going to talk about them, but I'll very briefly.
But I won't now.
But it's like literally though, for like exactly the same reasons is why I like Game Grumps. They play bad games and they're just entertaining and good friends. But yeah, there you go.
All very good.
Yeah, Funhouse.
Very good.
Cool.
Subscribe. 100% to it. I've been watching a series of theirs called Pilgrim's Promise, which is this Christian game which is made by Christians for Christians, where you play a little Christian boy called Christian, and you have to go along and like collect Bibles and like fight these demons which are called like Soul Crusher and like Faith Destroyer and things like that. It's really
amazing.
Oh my god.
Definitely recommend.
Jesus.
What's your number 4, Anna?
My number 4 is a guy called Tim Tracker. Tracker.
Oh, Tracker.
Tim Tracker. He's probably one of the biggest Disney vloggers on YouTube.
He tracks down people called Tim. And he kills them in cold blood.
He's a bit of a Disney celebrity. Like, if you are in Walt Disney World and you see him, like, everyone gets a picture with him.
Wow, okay.
Because he is that guy. He's just got his vlogs are just so good on, because he lives in Orlando with his wife. At the start of his vlogs, he had a girlfriend, but now they're with his wife, and now they have their first child, and it's really cute. So you kind of see the family home vlogs as well as him going to obviously all the Orlando attractions. So he doesn't just do Disney; he's in all like Universal, SeaWorld. He literally goes everywhere. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about his vlogs that are just they're just so well made and so detailed, and it's what you want to watch. He's just really good at creating the right content for all his vlogs to just for you to just enjoy them, and they're all like, each vlog is just so informative and entertaining. It's really cool, and the stuff he gets invited to all the like exclusive events, because he's really like well known. Like, Disney invite him to all his like the pre events. Like, he was invited to the Disney parks before, like the day before general admission.
Wow. I suppose he's like another wing of the marketing department.
Yeah, he gets
pretty much he's the outreach for.
He gets invited to loads of like exclusive events. So and he's able to vlog them, which is amazing. But he's just really good at, like, if you're like me, you just love watching what's new to the Disney parks, and he's just really good at following all the new stuff that's happening. And he's great at for like there's different snacks there are in the Disney parks. He like gives his views and opinions on what's there, and he's been great for lockdown, I think, at the moment, just showing you what's open and giving you an honest opinion of what's there. And Universal as well. Yeah, he's really good. Like, Tom and I went to Florida last year, and he was the guy I kind of watched before I went, to be honest. he's just a really, really good vlogger, I think.
That's who you wish you went with.
Yeah. And
I mean, anyone would want to go with him.
No.
Tom Tracker. Tom Tracker. That's me.
Hi, I'm Tom Tracker. I'm the really famous YouTuber. Let me in, please, for free.
But yeah, no, he's really cool. And I really, really wish I had his job.
Literally.
Because he has loads of subscribers, and obviously, like any Disney lover and the theme park lover, knows who he is. Like, he goes to the D23 events as an exclusive, celeb almost. He goes to California lots. He's never come over to Paris or anything, but I'm sure he will do eventually.
He'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
Apart from the ratatouille
but yeah.
coaster.
But yeah, no, he's just really cool, and it's just there at, he always seems to be there at the right time for everything. I
also think he doesn't try and be anything more than what he is.
Yeah.
And you can tell he enjoys his job, and he gives you stuff that you want to see. Like, you'll click on, I ride Rise of Resistance, and it will be him going into the park, showing you the queue times, talking about his experience, and then saying, this is what I liked and this is what I didn't like.
Yeah.
It's very informative. But
it's just what you want to see when you click on something like that.
But it's not boring informative either. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And he gives his opinion. And
so I just love watching his vlogs. I just think they're really good. And there's something about his voice as well. I know that sounds like a weird thing.
No, not at all.
But I
think
think
it's a really important thing
especially for podcasts. But also, for vlogs as well.
Yeah, really important thing for podcasts.
But yeah, no, he's got a really good voice. I know that, sounds
if
weird,
anyone
but
actually sounds like that, I'm really sorry. You have a lovely voice.
I'm sorry you sound like that.
I'm sorry for you.
So yeah, that's my number
Very
4.
good.
Lovely. My number 4.
I'll see how long I can keep it up for.
My number 4
Stop it now.
is binging with Babish.
No, stop it, you now.
Stop it,
Stop
now.
it. No.
No.
Binging with Babish.
Because that's my number 3 as well.
I thought it might be on yours.
Uh-oh.
Is it
good.
also... No?
No, it's not.
Actually.
By the popo.
Nappy time.
I got the same one. I recently kind of got Anna into binging with Babish.
Who's that?
You'll find out.
I'll explain.
Right after the
okay.
The audience don't know, so you be patient as well.
She's
Binging
like
with
rhetorically
Babish.
asking the question so that you can answer
Sure.
them.
I think she's just a bit grumpy because she's done popos.
My order's on its way.
Cool.
Your
We're doing
watch is
a podcast.
What?
So binging with Babish is also the exact same thing of like his voice is amazing to listen to, so relaxing. But binging with Babish is a chef who recreates food from
Yes.
from films and TV. He's very calming, and his videos are really well made. And he was a video editor before, and like cinematographer kind of before he was a YouTuber. And he said he just kind of learned to cook while he was doing his videos, so it was about making them look nice. He said this in interviews as well, which is really interesting. He said, like, I don't know how to cook, but I know how to make a video look good, and which is how he kind of got popular. What I like about him is that he makes a direct copy, and then he'll make a better version of it. So he'll be like, well, this is what you came for, but if you're making it, this is what I recommend you do. Some of them are not, his versions are not better, but the majority...
Only because they cannot be, because it's so ridiculous.
So some things are just like there's a Sloppy Jessica sandwich from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is pulled pork, mac and cheese on like a pizza bun or something like that. I can't remember. And I think I can't even remember if he makes another version, but he makes that version from the TV show, and it's just like, it's amazing. I finished it all. And there's some things that he's just like, well, you could make another version, but what's the point? Like, this is great. So.
That's another thing why I love him so much, is that he's not a pompous.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, he obviously knows taste and knows what tastes good and bad, but like, he's not going to deny that mac and cheese and pulled pork on a pizza is going to taste good, because all those things taste amazing, and they're going to taste actually amazing. Just because it's not fancy doesn't mean it's not good. But he's really, really good. I had another point as well, but I've forgotten now.
One of my honourable mentions is the Mythical Kitchen, which is GMM's kitchen channel, and their chef Josh, or one of their chefs Josh, and Andrew from Binging with Babish are really good friends. And Josh is exactly the same. Like, Gordon Ramsay called him out for a grilled cheese sandwich video the other day that he made on TikTok, like basically roasting him for how he made it and saying it was gross. And then he like explained why he did everything, and he's one of those people that's like, just because it's not fucking 5-star gourmet food, like Michelin star food, doesn't mean it's not good.
I want to know how he get. I'm guessing the recipes. How does he get it, or does he just make it up on his own?
He will go based on information from the show.
Oh, okay.
So like, there's a crayon sandwich in The Simpsons that Ralph eats. So he literally puts crayons in bread and eats it, and then makes the crayon sandwich, but with, not with crayons, with like coloured cheese. So he'll just go on whatever information is given in the episode.
Like, quite a lot of things will have like an official wiki or whatever. Like for the Portal, he did the cake from Portal.
Yeah.
He went on the official wiki and
like dirt and bugs.
Yeah, so for example, like the Krabby Patty from SpongeBob, I know a lot of people would love.
He's made that.
Yeah. So I know he has. So how did he get that? Shouldn't that just be a normal burger?
There's an
Yeah.
episode where they tell you all the ingredients of the Krabby Patty, like a whole episode that's like an advert for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And with that video, he was like, the whole thing is the secret ingredient, but I bet it's MSG.
Yeah.
So he
just puts
figures
in.
it out.
Well, he
yeah.
just guesses
okay.
his
what
best
he
guess.
thinks it is. Yeah.
Cool.
Very good. Very
Interesting.
humble as well. Really humble man. That was my number 3. So do you want me to go on to number 2 or just wait another round?
Yeah, let's go to Anna.
I'll wait.
Okay.
And then we'll do our 2s at the same time. We'll do our 2s together.
Number
Anna's already done her 2.
My number 3 is a YouTube channel which
No way.
yes way,
Mine too.
that I discovered around last year, I guess. You know exactly what I'm gonna say.
No, I don't. All yours are like, oh my god,
You too.
this is really funny.
You do.
Is it?
Don't say that. Tom can't stand them. It's a YouTube channel called The Lodge Guys.
The Lodge Guy. Is this
The
people
Lodge
who work
Guys.
at Newbury Lodge?
No. Tom started it when he went to the lodge. No,
Visit the lodge at Newbury Racecourse today.
The Lodge Guys are
We're not sponsored.
daily vloggers, but also love Disney, hence why I found them in the first place. I actually found them because I saw that so I discovered them last year, and I discovered that they were staying in the hotel that we were staying in when we went last year. So I was watching their vlogs to see what the hotel was like.
To stalk them.
Which was helpful.
Yeah, which was really helpful. And just to kind of sit, I was like, oh, Tom, like, I've found these guys and they're staying in the exact same hotel that we're going to stay in. Like, we should, like, watch them. I liked them. It's about, Tom did not so much, but I thoroughly enjoy them and I still watch them today. But yeah, they're very, quite a young YouTube channel. So they've only just recently, in the past couple of years, started daily vlogging. And they... are 2 gay guys that are married and have been married for a few years now. They have bought a lodge in a holiday park and they just live there basically and have the best time.
Wow.
They've sold their house and have like a tiny apartment, I think. They used to, so for years they've run their own business and literally worked themselves to the ground. One of them got very ill and they've just had a really bad life basically. And when one of them got ill, it was kind of like life-threatening and they were like, we need to stop what we're doing. We need to we've got enough money to hire people, and for us to not stress about the business as much, we need to look after ourselves. And that's when they've discovered their love for Disney and going to Disney and loving
Nice.
that and doing daily vlogs, and now they're earning money from what they love. And I think that's what I love about them so much. I've kind of seen them grow and get the subscribers that they've got now, which isn't obviously like, you know, PewDiePie and that, like so many, but it is a lot. And yeah, it's quite nice because they're a UK based Disney vloggers, I guess, daily vloggers, and it's nice to just follow someone. They're up north, I don't know exactly where, but yeah, they just love what I love. And it's great to follow, and they have their own kind of like community, like they have a really cool Facebook group, and people just discover things on there, and it's great, like a really cool community, and that's what I've always loved about them, and following their journeys. But yeah, I really like them. Yeah, and again, they've got like their Patreon and stuff on there, and they're great fun. So yeah, I really enjoy them. Tom, not so much, but yeah, they're really great, and I think they're the first.
Doesn't matter.
It's okay. But I guess they're the first kind of daily vloggers I've subscribed to and follow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my number 3.
I don't mind their home vlogs. It's just their Disney vlogs that I don't like, because it's just like everything that annoys me about people at Disney. Oh, should we go in gift shop? Oh, we went in gift shop and they had all these key rings in gift shop. I don't like key rings. Oh, shut up, you puff. You don't like key rings. Oh, I love key rings. Literally.
I love them though.
Oh, shall we get a beer? Oh, I haven't had a beer in Disney before. Oh no, neither have I. You've never been to Disney, you silly gay. It's like stuff like that. I'm like, shut up. Don't go to Disney. Please don't go to Disney. Oh, shall we go to Epcot Food and Wine Festival and get pissed and then get rat-assed and shit in Mickey Mouse's eyes? No.
It's like
I love them.
Family park.
Yeah.
It's that family that gets stuck at the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're just so cool.
You won that Ferrari.
But they had
that's
to
nice.
evacuate the lodge.
Evacuate the lodge.
During lockdown, because all holiday parks had to close.
All
so
holidays parks.
holiday parks had to go, so they had to go back to their house, which they don't have great memories at, and they don't really like living there. But they had to like make do with living there. They're back now, which is great, and got their own little apartment as well now. But yeah, they mainly live at the lodge, which is really cool.
Very cool.
Yes.
Would highly recommend.
My number 3 is a channel that
3.
I've been following for years and years and years.
How many years?
I love that band.
Years and years. And whoa, I'm a subscriber to your YouTube channel. Chanel.
New from Chanel.
YouTube.
These guys nearly didn't make my list, but then
Oh,
they
unlucky
did
boys.
last minute.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky
yeah.
boys.
Epic rap battles of history.
Hell yeah.
Because if you haven't heard of this channel, they are quite old in terms of like YouTube, I guess, sort of like 2010s. That's when they were really kind of building momentum. Yeah, I mean, it says it all really. They put 2 historical figures against each other in a rap battle, which sounds kind of shit, but they do amazing research, and they fill their like battles with information and like.
That sounds sick, bro.
Yeah, so
That
good.
was full of information.
Good. But the lyrics are still really funny and like cleverly written.
Bro, you should have been there. The night out was full of information, bro.
Oh, I learned so much about Pythagoras, mate.
Is it like Hamilton, basically?
Yes. Yeah, before Hamilton was a thing, I guess. It's exactly like Hamilton. It's like, let's fill this with info about these people, but let's make it fun and
But it's always kind of related, isn't it?
good tunes as well. Kind of. Sometimes it's not, which is cool. Like they'll find connections where there's not, where you wouldn't think there are any. Like, for example, they did Stevie Wonder versus Wonder Woman just because they've got that wonder, and that was really cool. They like find connections, but then they also do like Cleopatra versus Marilyn Monroe, which is, you know, like. And then Miley Cyrus versus Joan of Arc. It's like, let's pick 2 people that would probably hate each other but were relevant at some point and put them against each other. But then they also do like they did Mitt Romney versus Obama when they were up for election. They just done some really, really great battles. And Key and Peele did have co-starred, who you might know as Ducky and Bunny, but they've done other stuff, and they played Gandhi and Martin Luther King, which was great. Adds like an element that the two white guys that run it couldn't have done. And they did Muhammad Ali versus Michael Jordan. I just think it's a really cool YouTube channel, and they make really good music. Like that, I find myself listening to them on Spotify sometimes just because I like the beat and I like the lyrics. And they've started doing. They only did a couple, but they've only just come back, so I don't know if they'll add to it. But they've started doing a series called Flash in the Pan Hip Hop Conflicts of Nowadays, which are things that are requested by fans that they don't think would make, that they don't really want to do, like Burger King versus Ronald McDonald. They're like, well, we don't, like, there's more important historical figures we can go into. And then they actually ended up making that because they enjoyed it. But they've started doing them as just like kind of minimal episodes, so they'll just record it with a camera rather than do all the setup that they usually do. But yeah, I really recommend going and checking it out because they're great. They make really good videos.
Now,
cool. Why? I cannot wait for these Skittles.
Staring at me.
Is Anna reaching for Skittles there?
no. Cool, good choice. Like it.
Cool, that's great. Yeah.
Sorry,
anyway,
that
my
wasn't
number two.
How it meant to come across, but I don't care about whatever you're saying. My number two is Musical Hell.
Oh, Skittles.
Musical Hell is my number two. Just this one woman who does her main thing, obviously Musical Hell, which she's known for, big musical fan. Her main thing that got her YouTube channel big, and one that I watch the most, is her Musical Hell series, which she goes through film versions of musicals, really bad ones, and goes through why they are so bad, and really deconstructs, like, she basically, Ayawadi on Ayawadi is, Ayawadi on Top is like a critical analysis of the Gwyneth Paltrow movie, View from the Top, like a really critical analysis of a really bad thing. That's kind of what she does, where she goes into Mamma Mia and she goes, okay, let's talk
What do you mean? That's not
Mamma
bad.
Mia is the perfect
about
film.
Why this film is bad. Like, she actually goes into, like, feeling sorry for Pierce Brosnan and, like, saying that he, like, she comes from everything from an actual, like,
She doesn't say, like, Pierce Brosnan is shit.
No, she comes from it like an actual reasonable point of view.
Yeah.
But she's playing a character of, like, this devil who's in charge of the underworld, who's, like, sentencing musicals to go to hell. It's a really good concept, and she does it for everything from, like, classic musicals from the 60s. I can't remember a really bad one that she did, but there's loads. Yeah, right up to Mamma Mia and zombies, and that's what I know about zombies and all that sort of stuff. But she also does things called Know the Score, and I can't remember the other series, but yeah, one's called Know the Score, where she just goes really deep into scores that she loves and kind of like why you should know about them and the important things about them. So she's done them for, like, Wicked and for Phantom and for loads of classic musicals and stuff. Really interesting stuff.
That's cool. Is she British?
No, she's American.
American.
Which
So does she refer to Broadway a lot, or does she?
both. It's kind of she focuses more on movie musicals and, like, mainly film productions, because you can comment on more. You can comment on the acting and the cinematography and the writing and all that sort of stuff. But with other stuff, she mainly focuses on, like, recorded scores or just original productions of those scores.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Musical Hell, she's amazing. She's really smart and she's funny, and she's made me watch more movie musicals, and yeah, really good.
Now
Aw.
Zombies is
Good.
Jake's favourite film.
Yeah,
Does she do Descendants?
she does. Yeah,
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah, she
Anna
goes
loves
and
Descendants.
pretty much everything
I love
into all
Descendants.
those horrible Disney musicals, and she like talks about the choreography and the direction and everything.
Amazing.
Musical Hell. Go subscribe now and shout us out.
That's it, Anna.
Shout
That's
it
it.
out.
Well done.
That was me number 2. Uh-oh.
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 My number 2 for a poo is...
Let's just leave that. Leave that to hang like the shit it was.
Don't you hate it when you've got poo that just hangs?
Yeah.
You just can't. You just end up like twerking.
I don't know what you
Bouncing.
mean.
You're twerking.
Girls don't poo.
No,
so.
girls.
My number 2 is... Is it your number 1?
I don't know, Anna.
It won't.
It won't
if it
be.
is, then
I don't think it... Okay, it's Good Mythical Morning.
Yes, it's my number 1.
I'm so sorry.
What did you think would be my number 1?
I don't know. I thought you were going to find something obscure. Like the...
It's
Like,
How to Milk a Duck. That channel.
and that's all we have for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my number 1.
Yeah, Good Mythical Morning's my number 2. Rhett and Link as well. You introduced me to them pretty much at the start of our relationship. And it was like, you have to watch these people. And I was like, okay. And yeah, they're 2 people that have really good voices. I find, I think Rhett and Link have really good, voices to listen to.
I like Rhett's voice. I don't like Link's voice.
I
See, I
think
think-
it's good too. I think they're both great.
They complement each other. Nicely.
Yeah. Tom can probably explain more about them than I can. So I'll wait until he explains it more of his number 1. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy them. They're great and they just do so much. I find all their videos very entertaining. So yeah, that's my number 2.
They're good.
Number 2.
They're good.
Top number 2.
My number 2.
So we're going to talk forever now. My number 2 is Anthony Padilla.
Yes. Why didn't I think of him?
So, Anthony Padilla, you might know from Smosh. I almost couldn't say it then. Squash. From Smosh. One of the first
OGs.
One of the first YouTube channels ever. Or at least first YouTube channels to get big. They kind of started doing different stuff, and Anthony, who was one of the members, one of the 2 members, felt that he was kind of being backed into a creative corner. He's spoken a lot about it. Really interesting stuff. If you go on YouTube and watch it, but he talks a bit about it and just saying how he wanted to leave. Still friends with Ian, the other guy. Like, it wasn't anything to do with their relationship. It was just like a respected decision, I think. So he started his own YouTube channel and couldn't really find his feet to start with. Like, he's got some really weird videos. If you go back, like, he did like a No Nut November video that was really weird to start with. And he's just kind of was bouncing around for a little bit, and then he started this series, which I don't think he intended to start as a series, which is called I Spent a Day with Blank, and then he'll just spend a day with different types of people. So immunocompromised people, cosplayers, furries, ex-cult members, YouTubers, stuff like that. And it's just really, really interesting. He's a really good interviewer. And I think he's a good interviewer because he talks to people like he's having a conversation with them rather than like he's interviewing them.
Yeah.
And no matter how ridiculous the people are, he always treats them with like respect and kind of humanizes them, where a lot of people just kind of, like ostracize them for being different online.
I felt like I've only watched a few, but when I watched the YouTubers one, I found it so interesting because I felt like I was watching the real people. I'd always seen those YouTubers as themselves, but that's kind of their portrayal of themselves, obviously, because they're editing their own videos. Well, maybe not, but like they want to put out a certain image of themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas when they're having a conversation with Anthony, it's just them.
I think
and
because he's a YouTuber as well.
Yeah,
it's like
he gets
on their
it.
level.
He gets it. And it was so interesting to see them talk as human beings.
Like PewDiePie was in that episode.
Yeah.
Um,
And Mr. Beast.
yeah.
And they talked about like Anthony like selling Smosh and everything.
Yeah,
It was so
they
interesting.
talk about that quite a lot.
So cool.
There's some videos that are kind of more funny, just naturally, and then there's some people that are kind of like more oppressed communities. Like, for example, he did I Spent a Day with E-Boys and I Spent a Day with Viral Meme Stars, which is like, oh yeah, I'll watch this will be funny. But then he's done, these are some videos that I really enjoyed of his. I spent a day with multiple personalities. I spent a day with Tourette's sufferers. I spent a day with autistic people. I spent a day with asexuals. And then he also did one, I spent a day with professional cuddlers, which was fun.
I want that profession.
It's really interesting, but kind of fun to watch as well. Like, yeah, it's interesting, and the people are usually mad. In some of them, depending on the videos, but yeah, it's just really interesting, and I really enjoy watching them. There you go.
Yeah, very good.
Honorable mentions.
Take that and save it as a soundbite and play it every time we have honourable mentions.
Honorable mention.
Speed through them. I've got Wisecrack.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
You heard me. Wisecrack. Really, really good video essays on everything from SpongeBob. They just did a really cool one on SpongeBob. To like the Area 51 raid, to House of Cards, so literally everything. They take anything in pop culture or anything interesting and just feel like, why is this interesting? Like in the SpongeBob episode, they talked about why it was like, why is it so good? Why is it so like, why does it hang on to so many people's memories, etc., etc.
Because it's a sponge.
Because it's a sponge. But it went into detail of like, it represents loads of different types of childhood and whatever. It's just really cool, really interesting stuff that you don't usually think about, and it makes me feel smart as well when I watch it, which is obviously the most important thing that I look for when I watch a YouTube channel.
I feel smart.
I feel smart now.
That's
I
what,
can sleep happy.
That's what World of the Orange does for me. It makes me feel so smart in comparison.
Cinema Wins, also attached to Cinema Sins.
Yeah.
But I prefer Cinema Wins just because I used to like shitting on movies, and now I realise that you can't be that shit. You can't be that negative about so many things. So it's nice to kind of watch everything great about The Phantom Menace. Even though it's a terrible movie, it's nice to think, oh, there's actually some good things about it. And that shot was amazing, and that piece of acting was amazing and stuff.
Yeah.
GMM, like you said, Julian Solomita, who is the boyfriend of Jenna Marbles, who vlogs and does cooking videos. He takes a lot of inspiration from Binging with Babish, but he does like gluten-free stuff and vegan stuff because he is gluten-free and vegan, and it's really niche, cool part of YouTube to be doing, and he's really funny. Sarah Beth Yoga.
You missed that.
Oh no.
Dudley was just like, hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Saviour? Clifford the Big Red Dog, no?
Oh, poor. You alright?
Oh.
Is you alright?
Yeah, I think my dad's out there.
Off we go.
You alright, dads?
Mark! Excuse me, Mark.
Can you let me
seem to have
through?
locked this gate, even though I can go around it or up the other stairs.
Lobstock.
Well, guess this is my life now. On the road. Life on the road.
On the road again.
On my way.
Yeah, Sarah Beth Yoga, NPR
Yeah.
Music for their Tiny Desk stuff, which is amazing. And John Cosart, or Paint, who do the After Ever After Disney videos. remember those?
P-A-I-N-T, subscribe.
Like the Disney characters and their movies in the real world. Have you not seen those?
We were talking about this the other day.
You must have.
It's like he wears a different coloured t-shirt and plays each princess, and it's like
He talks-
Aladdin gets kidnapped by the CIA for being a terrorist,
Yeah.
but he's not a terrorist.
And Little Mermaid is worried about overfishing and ocean population
oil
and stuff.
spill.
You've not seen those? Surely
No.
you must have. They're so good.
I know. I've heard of the. stories, but not visually. I don't think I've seen him.
We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, but he
Okay.
sings these songs to the soundtracks of the original Disney movies, but puts them in the modern day, like you said.
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, like Aladdin being part of ISIS, and yeah, and like
Okay.
Pocahontas, I think, becomes like a murderous woman and like talks about how she can kill everyone or something. I don't know.
Fun.
Very funny though. Yeah, they're my honorable mentions.
Honourable mentions. Honourable mentions. My honourable mentions are Good Mythical More, which is a little sequel to the Good Mythical More.
I almost put that on, but
I didn't know if it comes under the Good Mythical Morning
Well,
series.
it's a separate channel,
Yeah.
but yeah. So yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Shout out to George Stacey, which I'm pretty sure he's just George Stacey, or is he still George's board?
I don't know. He's gone. I don't know. Gone under a new channel.
I think he's, yeah, if you search George Stacey, you find him. So check him out. He loves us and we love him.
Well, surely if you go on only till November, he'll be linked on there.
Yes. Theme Park Worldwide. Check him out. Great one.
One of the
Great
greats.
theme park vlogs there for you to all watch. Tom, you're going to have to help me out here because I don't know these guys. The Australian science guys.
They're not scientists. They're
do the
on my
experiments.
honourable mentions list. Okay, so they're called How Ridiculous. Right, 3 guys in Australia that have access to a tower where they do. It is like a science centre, but they don't work there. They just let them use it for free. They do like experiments where they drop balloons and stuff to see how they fall.
Really cool.
Basically, they drop things on other things and film it, and
Yeah.
then kind of react. But they're really, really entertaining to watch, and
Yeah.
they seem like 3 guys that would be really annoying, but they're not. They're really
I
nice.
thought there was
Yeah.
more of them. No?
No, 3.
Oh, okay.
They got people that like crew.
Oh, okay.
But
And then, is it the slow-mo guys, which are pretty much similar?
I also have the slow mo guys. yeah.
Sorry, you can explain more about them as well, because they just film
They film things in slow
motion, and it is the coolest thing. Like, they
Such
did
an enigma.
a bullet in water, and that in slow-mo is really cool. Or when they break some glass, I can't remember, and it's really cool. And a guy falls onto a trampoline with loads of mouse traps, and that's really cool. Like, it's just loads of random things. But you said they moved from England to America.
Gavin, who was in Rooster Teeth, I don't know if he still is, started a channel called the Slow Mo Guys because he wanted to get a visa to move to America.
Yeah.
And you have to have certain criteria. So he was like, well, I can start this channel and that can be my, like, something that I'm a professional in, and use that to get a visa. And he did. Good for him.
There you
Wow.
go. So, yeah, they do really cool stuff.
He's got a phantom camera, which, like, when you say they record stuff in slow motion, sounds like, well, I can do that on my phone. But they have a phantom which records. I don't know if they've got one that's faster than this, but it records 12,000 frames a second. So it's like you can literally see everything. Really.
And like the best film you've ever watched is probably like 8,000.
I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think what standard camera is.
60.
I think it's like 60 frames a second. Animation's 24.
It's very satisfying, however slow it
It's like-
is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
30 or 60
Yeah.
frames a second. So 12,000 is like
Well, it's like that
crazy.
that many pictures, that
Per
many
second.
still images per
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Like in an actual film, it's like
Instead
60.
of like 60 pictures in a second, it's 12,000 pictures in a
Yeah.
second, which is insane.
It's crazy what it can capture, but it's so like visually amazing and so satisfying to watch. Especially
insane.
so good. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
Cool.
It sounds like you're saying horrible.
mentions.
I've mentioned.
No, honorable.
Oh, so horrible. Not horrible.
Horrible. He's so horrible.
Horrible.
An horrible gentleman.
Not horrible.
Yeah, so I got How Ridiculous, almost made my top 5. Very difficult decision to get rid of them. Philip DeFranco, who does like news, weekly news. Mythical Kitchen, who are linked to Good Mythical Morning. They make some amazing food. Like, they'll take 2 snacks and smash them together. Like, I think they did like Pop-Tarts and Cheetos or something like that. It's amazing, and they look so good. Bart's Media and Film, George's Board, Love John Lovell, Sean Blake, Shannon Hughes, Auntie Donna, who we've mentioned before, but their YouTube channel is basically their sketches, so didn't put them in my top 5. Slide to Unlock, Sorted Food, who are a British food, like British group of chefs that make food. Star Kids, 2 + 2 = Random, You're So Loud, New Rock Stars, Ted Krusty, Vsauce, who explains, like, he does like science videos and explains stuff like why we feel fear. Really interesting.
Like Vsauce.
And Hot Ones, which was also really, really close to making my top 5, which is an interview with celebs, and each question they have to eat a hotter and hotter chicken wing. Sounds like a gimmick, and it kind of is, but the guy, Sean Evans, that interviews is amazing. He is the best interviewer I've ever seen and listened to. He asks really good questions, and he knows everything about the guests he has on. Like, he does such a deep dive into their background and who they are and where they came from. Only reason they didn't make my top 5 is because it depends on what celebrity's on as to if I watch it, because some people I'm just not bothered about watching as much as I am with other people. So yeah, there we go. Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one. Fwam fwam.
You're my number one.
Fwim fwam.
I don't understand. You're number one.
Can we get N-Dubs to sponsor us?
I reckon
even though
we could.
they're not around.
Talisa,
Ooh.
if you're out there.
Talisa.
What were the other? Dappy
Dappy.
and
Sneezy.
yeah,
Dopey.
So I am in N-Dubs.
Grumpy.
No,
No.
it's Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas. I always get them mixed up.
They're very similar.
N-Dubs are British.
That's the only difference. My number one is Vlog Brothers.
Fwam fwam
Heard of 'em?
fwam.
They're not that exciting.
I have.
They are amazing.
Why
though.
are they your number one?
Because basically they started out when YouTube became a thing in like 2005, and they started out 2 brothers, John Green and Hank Green, who John Green is an author, a very famous author, wrote The Fault in Our Stars and
Paper Towns.
Paper Towns
Oh.
and Looking for Alaska.
Oh my goodness.
And Will Grayson. And Hank Green is like the presenter of SciShow, a very, very popular, like another YouTube channel, and is also an author. Recently brought out best-selling books, is amazing. But Vlog Brothers, they're kind of less popular, but more frequently kind of involved in, like they're more focused on Vlog Brothers a lot more. But they make like 4-minute videos on loads of different topics that just what they find interesting each week. And what I think I like most about it is they don't seem to care about the YouTube algorithm or making money or doing any of that. They just make what they want to make for that week. And they always fit it within 4 minutes so succinctly because, well, they say that they don't think they want people to listen to them for much longer. And the only reason people squeeze out like 10 plus playtime is because of the algorithm and to make more money, etc., etc. But it's just kind of what they make. Like, they manage to make it funny and emotional and relatable and everything all in like 4 minutes or less in each video. It's really cool how they do it. Like, they'll have they've done just one thing that they do amazingly, like, and just to kind of give you an idea of what sort of channel they are, for the past like 6 months, and they've talked about this idea for ages, but kind of Hank Green has had this obsession with why can't I think of the name of the song, the one from Shrek.
I'm a believer.
No, the one at the beginning.
Hey now, you're a rock
Oh.
star.
Rockstar.
Yeah.
By
Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth.
Somebody
Yeah.
wants to.
I'll start that again. All Star. So
So
for the past like 6 months and for longer, Hank's had this obsession with All Star by Smash Mouth and said that every single line of that song can be taken on its own and explored philosophically in some way, even though it's this shit song. He thinks that every single line can do that. And for the past 6 months since COVID started, they've titled every single video of theirs for a different line of that song, but talked about something really serious at the same time. So they'll put, for example, "You'll Never Shine If You Don't Glow" as a video title, and then John Green will poetically talk about fireflies for 4 minutes and why they're important, but link it to that lyric by thinking fireflies make their own light and why that's important in depressing times and COVID times, and how it's crazy how, because John Green and Hank Green, but especially John, is such a writer and a poet, and
he didn't know it.
But that's the thing. He obviously knows it because he's so good at what he does, and he can really, you can make a point in 4 minutes if you can. If you can write a book that good, you can write a YouTube video so well. But yeah, they've been really helpful, especially through COVID. I've watched them a lot more.
I used to watch them,
but yeah,
haven't watched
you
them
really
recently.
should. They're especially the past year, they just put out awesome stuff. So cool.
My number one is kind of a combined channel-ish. So they've only recently started doing stuff together since lockdown, but it is musical theatre performers that I love called Carrie Hope Fletcher and Oliver Ormson, and they have created a YouTube channel together since the start of lockdown, so since March 23rd in the UK, called Good Morning and Good Evening World. So Carrie Hope Fletcher does Good Morning World, and Oliver Ormson does Good Morning World, Carrie Hope Fletcher does Good Evening World. And yeah, they literally talk about anything and everything since the start of lockdown, and they've kind of decided to do daily vlogs for the rest of lockdown, basically, until they need to go back into shows and theatre. Not just to earn money, but also just to keep the theatre industry alive, I guess, and do random stuff. They talk about literally anything. You can send them emails and they talk about random theatre topics that they want to talk about. I mean, it's not just theatre, you can literally talk about anything, because Carrie writes books. And yeah, they do loads of musical covers to either together or individually. And then particularly recently they've gone back into London to do some theatre tests and stuff, and they've been vlogging all of that, which has been really interesting. But both have been quite fortunate enough to have parts cast ready for after lockdown.
Definitely.
Which has been very interesting. So Oliver's been cast as Hans in the Frozen West End production, which will be premiering as soon as lockdown's over. It's due to be March next year, but whether that happens. And Carrie's meant to be playing Cinderella in Andrew Lloyd Webber's new production, which again is at the similar time. And it's mad because the theatres are right next to each other as well, so they're it's meant to be, and it's mad. But
I hope they break up.
Yeah. But no, they are really sweet together, and they're great. And the stuff that they've actually managed to talk about during this lockdown is everything that I want to know. And if you know what I mean, I mean, some of the stuff, Carrie's gone into a lot of stuff about a lot of shit she's been through, basically, because of YouTube and the anxiety and counselling she's had to deal with, and it's been really great advice, to be honest. And I know that sounds really petty and oh gosh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, but I get what she says and I understand it. And yeah, the topics that they get from their audiences, and it's great. And they do random stuff not to do with shows, so they talk about slang words, and there's just so much that they talk about, and it's great. And I really like the randomness of it, and them just trying to get through the days of lockdown, trying to stay theatre-y. And for me at the moment, it's probably the best thing that I've religiously watched since lockdown. So I've watched all of them. I think I can say I have watched all of them so far since March 23rd, and yeah, I love them. It's been great because I think with Carrie and Oliver, they've been quite private, and this has just kind of opened them up to YouTube, and you've learnt more about Oliver and how shit his theatre life's been, how it's taken him so long to get to where he is today. And that's great, because Carrie Hope Fletcher's had the complete opposite, where she's been fortunate to start when she was young and she was a kid performer, managed to get an agent because of her brother, I guess, and her talent. You can't fault her voice is amazing, and get to where she is today. But then she has to deal with that. She doesn't want to be that. She doesn't want to be that celebrity in a show. She wants to be a performer, but people treat her as a celebrity.
And it's the whole, like...
Yeah.
She would try and... I'm guessing she tries to find roles to be the bad person, but unfortunately that can counteract and be like, oh, is she always looking for roles? But is she being typecast now?
Yeah, so... And yeah, she literally talks about that, and she gets a lot of anxiety from it. Like, she was saying... Like, I was watching, just for example, for one today, she was talking about counselling she went to, and just advice that she took from counselling, saying, I don't know why people wouldn't go to counselling if you suffer. Go to counselling, like, you just learn so much. Like, she said she learnt, because she used to just take bad advice, like the bad criticism, and then think she was bad, like that one bad criticism, and then she would get all these compliments, and she would go, well, no, you shouldn't think like that, like that's not who I am because someone said I'm this. And she just really took on that negativity, and it's cool to just see someone talk about it openly on a YouTube channel and just be like, and I've learnt to, you know, take that on board, but also really appreciate the positive and know that I can be good enough for those comments, and like people say those comments for a reason. So yeah, and it's just things like that, and you just, I think those things, but I've never had anyone actually verbally say it to me for me to almost visualize it and think about it. So yeah, it's cool. They just come up with stuff that I'm like, yeah, it's great, and it's theatre, so I love it.
Yeah,
so
it's really cool to see people you've not known, but people you've known of for so well.
Yeah.
When they break themselves down and you realise that they're an actual person, and then you're like, oh shit, like, because they're feeling something and they've succeeded, maybe you can as well. It's really weird.
It's great to see them just be human.
Yeah.
Like, they're stuck inside, they can't do what they want to do, the same with everything else. They're still stuck inside, not being able to do anything like the rest of us, and they've got to where they are today. It's amazing. I love it. And it's kind of a thing that's kind of got me through lockdown, almost, just having that routine of, I can watch these guys every day. So no, it's been
very cool,
comforting at this time. So yeah, that's my number one. And a shout out, and just because she's his brother, but Tom Fletcher's wedding video is my all-time favourite YouTube video.
That's a banging YouTube video. That went viral.
That went bad. But it's probably one of my favourite YouTube videos ever. I remember watching that, and I think I just watched it again and again and again. So yeah.
Although every husband after that hated him. Yeah. You can't.
I can't beat it.
You can't. You just can't.
You can write a poem.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have McFly to sing your poem, do you?
I am your groom. You're my bride.
I like brooms.
Just like my arms always by my side.
Boo!
Get off the stage!
Boo!
I'll marry
You're not
you.
marrying anyone.
I'll marry you here.
I want a divorce. Boo!
I'll marry you here.
That's the wife.
Because you're a slag.
Boo!
Get in the bedroom.
It's his mum.
Let's have a shag. I love you. Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
That go viral.
I love you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
What?
My number one, we already know.
Number two.
Is
he's gonna get the whoops out of you.
GMM.
Because,
By the end.
earlier.
I didn't talk about much about it, so I left it to you.
I like you said, I've followed GMM since I've been on YouTube, I think.
Which is
Rhett and Link, sometimes called like the founding fathers of YouTube, which is just a cool name, because they kind of started. They didn't independently start it, but they were one of the first original big YouTubers. yeah, they do this show every weekday morning called Good Mythical Morning, where they are kind of been inspired by video games, which they had as a big influence. Video games. What am I trying to say? Game shows, sorry, that they were influenced by when they were growing up. So they do like lots of sort of silly games every day, and they know that their videos don't really, add anything kind of philosophical or deep to the world. It's just fun and it's a bit of escapism. They've got a huge following, but they've managed to stay. Seems like they've managed to stay really humble, and they've managed to, like we were saying earlier, like keep up with the times and always do something new and interesting, and something that they're always trying to do something that's not been done before, which is just interesting. They've been friends for like 35 years, so they know each other really well. They're basically a married couple.
They literally are. They fight like one.
Yeah.
There's a fight like a married couple fight in every single one, where Link will be annoying and Rhett will find him annoying. And
they have like the perfect dynamic as well.
Yeah.
Like everything that one person is missing, the other person has. Like they are literally like a jigsaw puzzle. They fit in perfectly
I think
together.
that's why they work so well and are so good.
Yeah, they're just really
screen
funny.
together. And
one thing I really like that they didn't have when they started is now that they're this huge company, like multi-million-dollar company. They bought out Smosh. Now that they've done this, they've got a crew, and their crew are as much a part of the show as Rhett and Link are. Like, you can always hear them laughing in the background. They get them on and they chat to them in Good Mythical More, which is their show after the show. Their producer's like a huge part of it. She had her own show for a little bit that they stopped doing because they didn't want it to run dry, which I think is like great. They're always trying to do something as long as they feel like it's fresh and working and original. They've started a vlogging channel, which is amazing. They've written 2 books and they're trying to get 1 book turned into a TV show. They have 2 series of a YouTube Red series, which is really weird but really funny. They write songs. They've done gigs and tours.
Podcast.
I was getting onto that. They do a podcast, which is like
they do a podcast.
the best, one of the best podcasts that I have listened to.
I wish you could see Anna's face right now. It's so funny.
Podcast, mention podcast. I will. They podcasts are a bit more for like, they're a bit more grown up, so they sometimes swear in their podcast, but it's more about like deep emotional things like growing up and their breakdown with religion and stuff like that.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
So interesting. If you listen to their podcast, I mean, I recommend watching them first and getting an idea of who they are. Yeah, go and listen to their, like, I can't think what it's called. It's like the Bleak Creek years or something like that. Really interesting. But yeah, GMM is just really fun, and it's a real, like, good thing to wake up to and a bit of escapism.
So what makes a good YouTube channel, guys?
Subscribers.
Us.
Money.
Us.
Mm.
Money. Well, speaking of money, you can give us yours at patreon.com/WITMOT.
Patreon.com/WITMOT.
And follow us at Swizz.com /.
Just go on
Spitcrop.
God's gone Padbun and
the spin to
you can listen to us on Apple Music and Google Podcasts and
Giggle Big Car.
Tahoe.
Subscribe for goodbye. Bye. Bye.
And here's a preview of next week's episode.
Hello, it's me, Miranda sings.
No way, we got Miranda sings as a guest.
Hello,
Miranda. What's your top 5? Top 5s. Good answer. That's all we've got time for.
Stop, please stop.
That's all the Miranda sings quotes we've got. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.
Haters, subscribe. I can't remember what she said.
Haters back off.
Haters back off.